Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the results for New York and Singapore. So that happened over the weekend, so we're just going to go through all the results, see how the meta has shifted. And from the first chart for standard, we can definitely see the meta shifting in standard. So we see 4 Eva, 2 Lutetia, 1 Mahar and 1 Greedon. So 75% of these decks are newer decks, which is to be expected, right? That is what you want for a game. So once the meta develops, once new sets comes out, you want to see a change or a deck from those sets do well. And as you can see, you know, with the release of the PRs, Eva has done really well. Different Fight has been on this train for heck knows how long now, and just shows proven results here in the West as well. So yeah, that's pretty much the standard side for New York, and they're looking at the top 4. So first place was taken by Michael with Eva, second Ryan with Nirvana, third Nicholas Amato, so he's a multi-time world finalist with Eva, and then fourth place was Danny with the Lutetia. So congratulations to all the players here. Jumping into V. So V hasn't really changed. There's no new sets for V Premium, so we can definitely see, yeah, Maiden's doing its thing, and it will be very unfortunate if there is no ban list before Worlds. I'm fairly sure viewers don't really want to watch Steam Maidens. So 6 Steam Maiden, 1 Vanguard, and 1 Vanquisher. Yep, it's just how it is. One day we'll get this full pie chart of just Steam Maiden. And yeah, this looks very similar to Perth. First, second, and fourth, all Steam Maidens. So Junin Kwan with Steam Maiden coming first, and then Grierson Wen with Maidens coming second, Adrian Barber, so Gecko State, a very well-known name, coming third place with Luard and getting that nice world invite, and then Gregorio Vargas with Maidens coming fourth place. Then Premium for New York. So 3 Narukami, where all of them are Eradicators or Sweep with Vowing Reverse, with 1 Maidens, 1 Highlander, 1 Spike Brothers, 1 Genesis, and 1 Mega Colony. Really interesting. I think the Mega Colony was piloted by commentator Peter. And then the top 4. First place was Matthew with the Rising Greedon, the 1 Rising Greedon, taking it all against all the Narukamis and the rest of the field. So very cool to see. Second place was Ralph with Eradicators. Third was Anthony with Steam Maiden. And then fourth was Martin with Eradicators. So yeah, that was pretty much all for New York. One thing to note is that as much as Eradicators seems to be like the most hyped deck, or the deck that is like the somewhat of a boogeyman, a lot of these metas are shaping in a way where they have to beat Narukami, and then they have to beat everything else. But like, if you look at the distribution here, and you would have seen the distribution in my other videos as well, the diversity for Premium is actually really good. So if in the future we do get like a minor hit to Premium, if you tap Narukami just a little bit, then we'll see a lot more, even more diverse, so to say, in terms of the metagame. So yeah, not to say that Narukami is unbeatable, it's probably, you know, actually this meta is probably one of the most interactive metas, where, you know, everything can do well as long as you know the matchups and stuff like that. And there's no, you know, tier 0 deck or one deck that's dominating the format. So yeah, that's very cool to see. Jumping to Singapore. So this is the event that I went to. Singapore standard, 2 Avas, and then 1 of everything else. So 1 Lutetia, Gravidia, Prison Mahar, Barra Magnus, and the Greedon. So the Greedon was Min Hugh from Vietnam. He ended up winning, so got the sponsored flight to Singapore and showing results again. So very cool to see. Going into the top 4, first was Lee Yong Yik, or better known as Joshua Lee, first place with Lutetia. Second was Min Hugh, coming second with Greedon, so he's obviously doing something right. I mean, taking Greedon and, you know, doing well at a big regional and a small regional just shows that, you know, he's doing something right. Third place was Wong Chuhung, or Chuhung for short, the funniest man on the planet, coming third place with Eva, and then fourth place was Elfie with Gravidia. I had a really good time with all these guys, absolutely amazing. It was just, I don't know, how should I say? a very enjoyable, a very, you know, magical weekend, if you have to put it that way. Chuhung making the whole trip super amazing. The vlog for BCS Singapore will come up very soon. But yeah, it was just an amazing vibe with all these guys. So congrats to these 3 players making it to Worlds. Hopefully I get to see some of you guys at Worlds too. Jumping to V Premium in Singapore. So very much like New York, where it's primarily dominated by Steam Maiden. And then we have 1 Highlander, which is denoted by the reindeer there, 1 Fenrir, and 1 Glendios. And funnily enough, the Glendios actually made it first place. So Gabriel Tio, the store owner for Caesar Cards, big shout out to Caesar Cards. That's pretty much where I get all of my stuff. All of the SPs that I use for all of my Dark States deck, I get it from him. And very, very cool to see that he finally came first. I remember the Manila trip, we were talking and he was super sad, not doing well in Premium and then getting absolutely blasted in V Premium. So really good to see that the results for his testing has been coming fruitful. So yeah, he's been talking about, like, you know, Glendios beating the Steam Maiden meta, and I think it's a really good shock factor, right? So you're walking in, you're flipping your Vanguard and they're like, oh, it's Glendios, like what the hell can this deck do, right? And you try to play around it, but you don't actually get to where you want to be. You play 1 misplay and then that just, you know, ruins the game for you. So the surprise factor actually makes this deck really good. And then going into the Steam Maiden matchup, right? So you try to bait them into having 1 rearguard or 2 rearguards, right? With like the Enterana, and then you drop 3 Zirconiums, and that's pretty much how he won the finals. So very, very cool to see Glendios. Thank you for making one of my favorite decks. You know, number 1. I couldn't do it, but you could, so congrats, Gav. Second was Maida Yuan from Malaysia, coming second with Steam Maiden. Paddy coming third with Maidens, and then Chuhung again coming 4th place with the Maidens as well. Now to Premium. Premium's pretty balanced on this side of the world. 2 Norakami, 1 of everything else, so Pale Moon, Steam Maiden, Highlander, Darker Regs, Rising Greedon, and Grand Blue. And then first place was the Nightmare Doll. So I think this season there's been a lot of Nightmare Doll tops, regardless of, you know, the Alice and Harry hit, and I think it's showing that it's a strong deck, but not a completely, you know, super boogeyman deck that it was back in DRO. So I think there's just other decks that can combat it now, which is good. That's what you want, right? So just seeing Nightmare Doll coming first place is really cool to see. Second was Dane. So this guy I met in Manila. He's actually from Cebu, I think, or other regions outside of Manila. We had a talk in Manila and he said that he wanted to fly to Singapore to do better and come in second and getting that Worlds invite. Congratulations, man. Really, really happy for you. I mean, we've talked in DMs and, you know, it's your time. You're going to get it. You're going to work hard for it, and look at you, you know, working hard, effort's paying off. And yeah, that's it. Third place was Jai Hao with Highlander, and then 4th was Shantae with NLK. So yeah, that's pretty much a quick wrap up of the last weekend. You will see a bit more of an in-depth analysis come in the next few weeks. I know that we have Anaheim this coming weekend, so that'll be the last one. And then yeah, we're just going to do a whole recap of the whole season. And yeah, hopefully you guys found this interesting. If you did, drop a like, comment down below about, you know, your thoughts on the results, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.